Welcome back to Unveiling the Truth. We're your host, Nuffer.
And I'm Nelly, and today we're going to be looking at cool and funny and even educational saint quotes.
So without further ado, let's go unveil the truth.
Alright, so before we get started, just like we start off everything that is good and holy, Nefertiti's going to lead us off with a prayer.
Yes, and we're going to do a Hail Mary because she is the greatest of all the saints. We're going to be talking about saints today.
Ah, smart. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
That's why I had to think about it for a second. Alright. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancto. Amen. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum. Benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen.
Nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancto. Amen.
Cool. So our printer isn't working. My printer isn't working, I should say. Sorry, Never.
Yeah.
So we have these things saved on our phone.
Mine's acting up too.
We've been seeing really cool saint quotes everywhere, and we're like, some of these are so deep. Some of them are funny because it just shows the humanity of saints. Everybody thinks, oh, I can't be a saint. I'm so human. I have so many faults. It's no, these guys are normal humans too. So we found funny ones, but then we also found ones that are that's pretty deep.
Hit the mark.
Yeah, and obviously there's so many out there, we couldn't cover all of them, but we found them. We've kind of been sending them to each other, so we thought it'd be cool to go over some of them. I have a lot of funny ones. Okay, so what's gonna happen?
I have more inspirational ones.
Right,
I have two that are funny.
So Nefer's gonna read hers, and then I'll read one, and then she'll read one, and then we'll tell you the saints. And
cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you want me to start?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So this one, I guess this one's kind of a hopeful one.
Okay.
So it says, "Have patience with all things, but chiefly have patience with yourself. Do not lose courage in considering your own imperfections, but instantly set about remedying them. Every day begin the task anew." That is St. Francis de Sales.
St. Francis de Sales. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, that one hit me because I'm very impatient.
Oh, really?
I'm impatient with myself a lot. I'm impatient with others and with myself. So
well, and something else that's cool, I feel like saints have quotes for every single situation in life.
Yeah.
Whether you're depressed, whether you're anxious, whether you're excited, whether you're mediocre, whether you're lukewarm, they have saints for all. I mean, they have quotes for all situations because there's a saint for literally every situation.
Yeah, and so I kind of get frustrated sometimes, and I even bookmarked that one because I liked it.
Because you're your own worst critic.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like we're all like that.
Yeah, so I did like that one though because I think sometimes when we do mess up, it's easy to just fall into desolation or want to start despairing about stuff, and it's important to just kind of keep going but also fixing your mistakes.
Right, yeah.
So that's also the hard part, but it's important to keep that in mind as well. And that there is hope.
And we're also really thankful to the people that documented these quotes.
Oh yes.
Because think about it, imagine all the wisdom we would have missed out on if nobody quoted them,
For real.
Alright, this next one actually reminded me of Nefer, and that's why I sent it to her. It reminded me so much of her. It says,
have I seen this one?
I don't know if you've seen it, but it said, "Let them have coffee before meditation." Venerable Bolton Sheen.
I saw that one.
So much of her because she drinks coffee. I don't drink coffee. I don't know if it's because I'll get spastic. I just don't do it. I just never like coffee.
You don't like it, or you just?
Well, I feel like maybe if I had a good sweet flavored one, I'd drink it. But I don't think to drink it. When I wake up in the morning, I don't think of coffee. I just don't think about it. My parents have always drunk coffee together every morning, but I don't do it. I just don't like coffee.
What do you drink? Tea?
Tea or water or milk. I just don't really drink in the morning. You know what I mean? I just I take the whiskey. That's what I'm just kidding. No, I just don't really think about coffee. And my sister, Sarah, she loves coffee, especially when she's stressed. But when people are tired or anxious or groany and stuff, they always drink coffee. And I've never thought of it. I just don't think about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, she drinks coffee. In fact, today she's told me that she drank a whole black cup of coffee.
It was almost black. So what happened is I didn't want to put milk in it. And I put some sugar, but there wasn't too much sugar in the little bin. And I was kind of lazy to refill it. And I was like, that should be fine. And then I drank it. I'm like, nope, this isn't fine, but I'm going to drink it anyway. And I drank it all. It was, to me, it tasted pretty much black.
Wow.
But
well, my mom used to do decaf, but my dad always took it black, and now she takes it black. And I'm like, I don't know how people could do that, because I know that tastes nasty.
It's not that bad. No,
really?
It's not.
I've had it. It tastes nasty.
Well, you just gotta get used to it.
Oh?
I guess it's just...
But obviously...
you're not a coffee person.
But in the famous words of Fulton Sheen, let them drink coffee before meditation.
Stan.
Go by those words, moms out there.
Hashtag let them have their coffee.
Yes, God gave you coffee.
Hashtag let them drink coffee instead of let them eat cake. That's instantly what I thought of when it says, let them have coffee. It's like, let them eat cake. That's instantly what I thought of, but okay.
That's awesome.
Cool. So, next quote. I love this one because it just, I don't know. I'll explain it. But basically, this one is, don't abandon yourselves to despair. We are an Easter people and hallelujah is our song.
Oh.
St. John Paul II.
Oh, I love St. John
I know.
Paul.
I
feel like everybody loves Pope John Paul II.
Honestly, same. Yeah. No, everyone loves
Especially
him.
the youth. And he didn't even want to be Pope.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, that's what's crazy. That shows that sometimes God will put you where he needs you, not where you want to be.
So what I really did like about this one is, like, I don't know, I just felt like that sounded so clever. We are an Easter people and hallelujah is our song.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also just like, just be joyful, you know?
Right,
Remember that we are supposed to be joyful. And God is joy. God is love. God is everything that is good in the world. So why should we be depressed all the time?
Right, yeah. So. Depression and anxiety and stuff comes from the devil. That's not God. So just throw that out of the way.
I love that one.
Me too. That is really cool. So the next one is also from Fulton Sheen, and he's like known for having really funny quotes. It says, "Hearing nuns' confession is like being stoned to death with popcorn." And that reminds me of our priest here, because one time I was telling him, I can't even remember what it was. I think it was scrupulosity or something, but I told him I was worried about something, and he said, if that's the thing that you're worried about the most, then you better line up for sainthood, because that's nothing. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, thank you for that, Father.
Like, I felt that.
Like, okay. Yeah. I see that my issues are not important to you.
Yeah, no, I read that one when I started, like, learning about Fulton Sheen. I read that quote.
One?
Yeah, so that's why as soon as you read it, I was like, oh, I know what this is.
Well, and like, it goes back to that other quote that you had. Mm-hmm. It's like, we all think we're our worst critics. I mean, we all are our own worst critics. We're all our worst critics. So we all think we're worse than we are.
Yeah.
So we're always, like, scared to go to confession. And the truth is that the priests have heard confessions of everybody. Of people in prison, the worst serial killers, the most holiest people. Like, it doesn't bother them, because they're just happy that you're going to confession and getting your sins removed. Like, that's all that matters to them. And if a priest does judge you, then that's on their soul. It's not on yours. You did what was right.
Yeah, you did the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Oh, wait, my turn. All right. Cool. Let us aim for joy rather than respectability. Let us make fools of ourselves from time to time, and thus see ourselves for a moment as the all-wise God sees us. St. Philip Neri.
Aww.
I love St. Philip Neri. He's one of my favorite saints.
And he's not very well known either.
Really? Well,
I don't think so.
I guess not. Probably not. But yeah, so this one, because St. Philip Neri was known, he's known as the Apostle of Rome, but he's also known as, like, I don't know what the exact title was, but it's about joy. Like, he's known a lot for his joy, and, you know, he has all these moments of, like, where he jokes around, and where he even uses funny anecdotes to kind of explain things.
Okay.
So he's very just like a joyful saint. And so this one where he says, let us make fools of ourselves from time to time, and thus see ourselves for a moment as the all-wise God sees us. It's like the fact that let us make fools of ourselves from time to time, that's kind of funny, but also, like, how God sees us as ourselves as being kind of like, you know, these fumbling little weirdos, and he still loves us. Like, that's kind of cool.
That is really nice. That is really cool.
Yeah. So, that was cool. It was just a reminder that we have to be joyful.
Right,
not just serious all the time. Cool.
Alright. This one's another... So, she kind of, like, has them where, like, serious, like, inspirational ones, and I just kind of, like, the dumb ones. And this one was,
The dumb ones?
Well, not the dumb ones. I mean, like, the funny ones. Do you think our Lord wasn't tense living with those 12 screwball apostles?
Yeah.
Mother Angelica.
I saw that one, too. Yeah, she was funny. Mother Angelica had her moments.
Oh no, she was like strict, but could also be so funny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She had her moments where she could be like.
And I know
really
there are
funny.
like several like saint quotes that just blew my mind, and I forgot them, and I never got them down. But I would hear them sometimes, and I was like, "Whoa, that's so deep!" Like, if a lot of Catholics could hear these quotes, it would help them understand the faith so much more.
Yeah.
And then I forgot them, and I was like, "Dang it!" Maybe we'll go over them, but
we'll probably do a part 2 to this.
Yeah, we'll definitely do a part 2 because there's so many quotes that they're short, sweet, simple, but they explain a lot to you.
Yeah. Speaking of which... Oh, were you done?
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of which, here's one of those such quotes. I was no longer the center of my life, and therefore I could see God in everything. Saint Venerable Bede.
Oh, wow.
I have no idea who that is. But...
yeah, I don't even know either,
but
that sounds nice.
I loved that quote, because I was like, wow, that really puts things into perspective.
Yeah.
Like, once you really learn to surrender and let God handle it, And you know, part of that is letting go of like thinking that you can control everything.
Yeah.
And so when he says I was no longer the center of my life, it's like he's finally putting God at his center. God is the control, and then he can see God in everything. Like even in the most mundane or more like secular things, you can still see God present in every single moment of your life. So that really stood out to me. That was really cool.
That one was really nice. And then in St. Lawrence, this is the story of when St. Lawrence was the one who was like literally cooked alive. And while he was being cooked alive for the faith, he was dying for the faith, while he was being cooked alive, he said, "Turn me over, I'm done on this side." While he was being roasted alive, and that was St. Lawrence.
St. Lawrence.
And he's actually the patron saint of comedians.
Yeah, so yeah, that was kind of funny. Yeah. So...
Turn me over. Can you imagine being roasted and him being like, "Turn me over, I'm done on this side"? I bet those people were like, "What is wrong with this guy?"
Man, honestly, I would have been like... Yeah, no, that's tough. But yeah, I heard that one when actually at a parish called St. Lawrence of Brindisi.
Oh,
so
really?
the priests were talking about it, and that's when I first heard that.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's kind of cool, actually.
That is really funny, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So this one is also of a saint I don't know, but heaven is filled with converted sinners of all kinds, and there is room for more. St. Joseph Cafasso.
Mm-hmm. So that kind of shows that you could be one of those converted sinners.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's because it says converted sinners of all kinds, it means that no matter, like, you can't think you're like the scum of the earth or the worst of the worst, because no matter how far you've gone, if you really repent and truly come to God, he will accept you with open arms.
Oh yeah, no matter the sin, that's what's so crazy, is no matter the sin, he will forgive it, no matter what it is. And the only one that he can't forgive is the sin against the Holy Spirit, but supposedly you do that to yourself, because that's when you say you're too prideful to go to confession.
Yeah.
You think he won't forgive me, I can't be forgiven. Or not even that, because that's just weak, that's just weak-spirited. I had a priest tell me that even if you feel like you're not forgiven, that doesn't change the fact that you are.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, it's when you're too prideful to go to confession. But I was talking to this one girl, and she was, like, really feeling down about, like, the sin she had committed. She didn't feel like she'd be forgiven. And I was like, do you know who St. Augustine is? And she was like, no. And I said, he was literally known. His mother prayed for, 25 years?
Like 25 years, yeah.
So, for his conversion. And it took that long for God to, like, cast the rope around him, because he was, like, slept with so many girls.
My boy was a player.
Yeah, he was a player, and he was wild. And I said, think of any sin, like, try to think of any sin, he probably did it. Like, he was just out there. And look at St. Paul the Apostle. He literally persecuted Christians, and they're now the most renowned saints that the world knows.
Yeah.
Like, imagine what he can do with you. Alright, so the next one is by St. Patrick, and he says, never trust a dog to watch your food. But there could be deep meaning behind that, too. Like, it could be, like, never trust, like, I hear that it could be, like, a parable, kind of like, never trust.
Like a metaphor.
Yeah, like a metaphor, like, so you have, like, that one friend that you know isn't really your friend, or something like that.
You can't trust them.
Yeah, you can't trust them, and yet you still trust, yeah, exactly, and then you wonder why they betrayed you. It's kind of like you can't expect a dog to be a cat and a cat to be a dog.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's one of the funniest things that my dad has ever taught me. Like, if somebody acts a certain way and I get upset at them, he says, but you knew they were like that. You knew that's their type of character. You can't change them. You need to just be mad at yourself for expecting them to be different when you knew who they were. Like, that's your fault. He said, you can't expect a cat to act like a dog and a dog to act like a cat. That's on you for expecting them to be different. I was like, oh, okay.
Or that's kind of like that quote that they say where it's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I should have learned from that.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
So why would you... Like, you shouldn't let someone fool you again because you should have learned from your past mistakes.
Right, exactly.
I was just laughing at that one. I didn't expect it to be that deep. But
I mean, it is deep, though, but it is true. Never trust a dog to watch your food.
Okay, cool. And this one I also really like. It's also St. Josemaria Escriva. And it's, don't say, that person bothers me. Think, that person sanctifies me.
Oh.
So.
That's a good way to look at it.
That's honestly probably, like, the best way.
Because, the devil loves
to
comfort. The devil likes comfort. So, when you're uncomfortable, that's when you can seek God the most. And that's when you have more power. Like, in fasting and whenever you pray through the struggles, it just sanctifies you so much more.
Yeah, and that's also kind of where you can think about looking at, like, the cup half empty versus the cup half full.
Exactly.
Where it's like, you can think about it, well, at least this person's triggering me to the point where I'm offering something up for God, so I guess,
Well, and the thing is that you look at these, like, third world countries where they have it terrible, like Nigeria. Nigeria is home of the most devout Catholics ever. Yeah. In fact, they said that that's one of the places with the highest attendance of people in Mass. Mm-hmm. And they have nothing there. Like, don't get me wrong, there are some, like, rich people in Nigeria, but for the most part, the people are poor. They're struggling. Yeah. They're in poverty. Their government is controlling them. And yet, they're the ones with the most devout Catholics. And that's because instead of making themselves victim, they still appreciate what God has given them. They still appreciate being alive, being able to, like, work more, Like, I was talking to, like, a friend of mine, and he lives in Nigeria, and he, like, works really hard and only makes, like, $50 a month for like, 12 hours a day. And I thought it's so funny because in Nigeria, they celebrate having a job, even though they work so hard. And here in America, they complain about their job.
They complain about their job not paying enough or whatever. Or...
When there are some people who make $50 a month no matter how much they work.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Putting that stuff into perspective.
Mm-hmm. So always appreciate what you have. All right, the next one that I have, St. John Vianney. If people would do for God what they do for the world, my dear people, what a great number of Christians would go to heaven. What people would do for
God. Yeah, I had to, like, think about it. Yeah. Wow. That's true. And
it's true. People go out of their way to do things for the world, to be seen, to be famous, to be recognized. Everybody wants to be somebody. It's like, you know you're already somebody to God. Why don't you work towards that?
Yeah, that's true.
This place is only temporary.
Yeah, we're working so hard for someone who may or may not love us back.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and not for someone who we know, like, kind of like what you said already, who we know already loves us and cares about us the way we are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. I did find another one. Okay. And it's also Saint Jose Maria Escriva, but this one I really like. And it's one of those hopeful ones. It's don't wait until you are old to start becoming a saint. That would be a great mistake. Begin right now by fulfilling the duties of your work and of your everyday life. Because, I insist, apart from it being a great mistake, you never know whether you will live as long as that.
Oh, wow, that's true. Well, that reminds me of this saint. Oh, shoot, which saint said this? I really think it was like St. Augustine or someone, but they said don't walk to confession, run to confession. And that's the same thing. Yeah. You don't know how long you're going to be on life, so be the best you can be in this moment. Like, if you have a sin, deal with it. If you aren't close with God, deal with it right now, because you don't know how long you're going to live. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You don't know when the time will be too late.
Yeah. Oh, and since you mentioned St. Augustine, he's also the one who said something along the lines of, God give me chastity, but not yet. I'm sorry, I just had to remember.
That reminds me of what Fulton Sheen said. He said chastity doesn't make you blind, it increases your vision.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of St. Augustine, this one is him too. He says, pray as though everything depended on God, work as though everything depended on you.
That's a good way to put it.
So faith and works go together. Uh-huh.
St. Augustine said those two very different things.
Well, one of them was the beginning of his life, and one of them was the end of his life.
Yeah. I'm joking. No, we can't judge, but I just think it's really funny. And you see the progression of a person.
No, it's true.
Character development.
It's true. No, there are so many things I did as a kid, and I was like, myself now would never do that. Like, why did I do that? Like, you really just grow more. Like, you don't think that you're becoming closer with God through your daily prayer, through little things that you offer him, but it really does help you.
Yeah.
Like, my sister Sarah, she's a good example, because I'm not saying she was a brat before, but she's, like, the holiest person I know now. Like, she's, like, 2 times holier than me, and she's so sweet. Everybody loves her. Everybody thinks she's the sweetest. Everybody tries to protect her because she's so innocent. Like, she's literally the holiest person I know. She gives and gives and gives and gives money, like, to everybody. There'll be a homeless person, she'll give them money. She always tips the people. She will always buy extra candy from people to give them promotions. She just doesn't care about money. She's, like, so detached. And she wants to die, too. She doesn't even care to be here. She just wants to go. She always says, I want to die so I can go to heaven. I'm like, Sarah, do you know how bad that sounds? She's like, I don't care to live. I'm like, Sarah, that's not what God wants. He wants you to, like...
Maybe rephrase that.
Yeah, I know, literally. And so... But she's like... And I'm not saying she was a brat before, but she really had a conversion after she got confirmed. And I'm, like, so lucky to have her as a sister. She's the best. Anyway, I hope she doesn't see this because I don't want her to know this. I'm joking.
Cries an only child.
Oh. Hey, I'm your sister. What are you laughing at? Well, I'm sorry. I'm not good enough for you, never.
We don't live together, is what I'm saying. It's not the same thing.
Okay, fine. You can just be alone with your bear. Don't call me next time.
My bear?
Yeah, your teddy bear. Okay, so my last quote is by Pope Francis, actually.
Oh, okay.
And I know he's not a saint, but this is, like, actually a really nice quote that he says. He says, God never tires of forgiving us. We are the ones who tire of seeking his mercy. And that's true because, that's true. 80% of the people that don't go to that, like, well, maybe not 80%, but a good majority of the people that, like, fell away from the church, they didn't like confession. They stopped going because of confession. They felt too prideful to confess their sins. And that's another reason why a majority of people end up in hell, because they stop going to confession. They stop caring. They're too prideful. You know, they don't take advantage of that. And that's a big reason why people go to hell. Think about it. If all the Catholics went to confession, all the Catholics would go to heaven. Literally. We have the key. That's why I love our religion so much, because God showed us the way. If all of us went to confession and didn't walk, if we ran, just like that saint said, if all of us went to confession, whenever we had a mortal sin on our soul, there's a guarantee we'd go to heaven. Yeah. But that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. People either be too afraid to confess their sins, or they'll get too prideful, and so they die with that mortal sin on their soul. And God can't help it. They chose that fate for themselves, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
That's a good quote.
Yeah, I like that. We're the ones who tire of seeking his mercy, so.
Well, it's kind of like something I saw that Father Mike said, also not a saint, but it's something just along that line. Yeah. When he was talking about the Eucharist, where he's like, you know, we constantly think of confession as like me going up to God and being like, give me another chance, I'm going to do better. And he's like, but you should really think of confession as God telling you, give me another chance to show you my mercy. Oh, and I was like, that one hit. Nice. That hit in the heart. And I was like, oof.
That's the thing, is that God tries so hard for us. It literally makes me so sad. He tries so hard for us. Like, and we can't even meet him halfway. It's just like sad.
That's true.
We can't even meet him halfway, and it's like, yo, I'm giving you everything you need. Like, I'm giving you everything to the key to heaven. And all you have to do is follow it. And they say that the Catholics have, like, a lot of rules. No, we just have the 10 Commandments. Like, just be a decent human being. That's all you have to
do. Be a decent human being. Go to confession. Yeah. Receive communion.
Literally, that's all you have to do. Like, confession, communion. Those are the two things that'll get you to heaven. Confession, communion.
And in true relationship with God.
Yeah, true relationship with God, yeah.
Through the sacraments.
Through the sacraments, exactly. Yes. Yep. So those are all the quotes. Obviously, it's cool to see these sides of saints that you don't think about. Kind of like in The Chosen, you know, Jonathan Rumi. I kind of like how they portrayed him as funny. Like, remember he, like, made jokes to Peter all the time in the series? Yeah. And I was like, it was cool to see that side, because it's like, all these people, you think that if you're holy, you have to be serious, you have to be devout. But some of these people struggled with worse sins than we do. Mm-hmm. But they still made it, because God didn't just die for some people. He died for everybody. That'd be so dumb. Why would he create you if he thought that sometime in the future you would be unredeemable? Like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Why go through that effort?
Yeah, exactly.
And God isn't like us, who we give up halfway. He actually, like, pushes through.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I got excited for a second. I was like, this isn't a saint quote, but it's a quote I heard the other day. So, this one isn't a quote by a saint, but it was, said, if you don't think you're beautiful and you don't think you're important, just remember that it took God 6 days to make the entire universe, but yet it took him 9 months to form and create you.
Wow.
Yep. 9 months. Like, think about it. 9 months in the mother's womb to create you, when he had the power to create the entire world in 6 days.
And he still took his time with us.
Uh-huh. That's how.
That one hit.
Yeah. The pinnacle of creation. Yeah. I swear, I love the Catholic faith because you learn something every single day. Like, you're always learning, always learning.
Yep, there's too much to learn. Oh, that's another one. Well, it's not a quote, but it's more like the thing that happened with St. Augustine. Mm-hmm. Again, talking about St. Augustine, where he was, like, trying to understand the mystery, I think, of the Trinity. Okay. And then he goes to the beach and he sees this boy. I think I've told you this story before.
Yeah.
He sees this boy, like, in the sand, and he's, like, trying to put water into a pail. Mm-hmm. And St. Augustine's like, bro, what are you doing? He's like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, well, I'm trying to put all the ocean in this bucket. Mm-hmm. And then St. Augustine's like, the ocean's too big. It's not going to fit in the bucket. And he's like, likewise, the mystery of God is too big for your little brain to understand.
Yeah, just a random child. Can you imagine?
And he just disappeared. He disappeared. But yeah, no, definitely, there's a whole lot. There's always a lot to learn, so that's really cool.
Absolutely. Yep. So those are some cool quotes. We hope you guys enjoyed.
Yes, please make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the link tree down in the description so you can check out more content like this.
Yep. We're praying for you. God bless you, and keep your fire burning.
Bye.